Hi, welcome along to today's vlog. It's been a while since I've been able to put a vlog together. The last vlog I did was the interview with Chuck Scher. If you haven't already checked that out, please do go and do so. Chuck, amazing guy, you know, great influence on jazz education over the last 40 odd years. So well worth checking out. I was on a gig last week and the guys were going, oh yeah, the bass player Joel, my bass player Joel, oh yeah, that Chuck Scher, oh wow, I really love his bass book. So anyway, you can go on from there. I wanted to talk though today, I've got some really exciting stuff coming up. Some stuff is going to be released next week. I'm not allowed to release it. I'm not even allowed to show it you, but there's some very exciting things coming up to do reviews of and other saxophone related stuff. So make sure you're subscribing. That will be out next Thursday, the 13th. It's really, really exciting stuff. Watch the space. I don't know why I'm getting into Trump mode. Now, this month marks 20 years since I did something quite life-changing, which was to go over to New York, study with Bramford, soak up the scene, take in and really change my life's direction. In February 2005, I was living with a girl. She was thinking we were going to get married. I wasn't really thinking that. I got the invite from Bramford to go over and study, and I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm using my money for that. I don't know what you think we're doing, which was sad and not very well handled at the time, but you know, these things happen. But it's got me reflecting as I look back now on those 20 years. What would I say to myself? And I did this a while back. I did a letter to 2004. This is like a vlog to 2005. And also, I hope, useful information for you, particularly if you're in your early 20s or even in your teenage years and you're thinking about what to do with music next. A lot of this will be, don't do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do, which isn't always the stuff we like to listen to. But I hope you'll take it in the spirit it's given, which is not that I had it all figured out by a long shot. Not that I've made a hash up, I hope, too much of it, but there are a lot of things that I wish someone had sat me down and spoken about, both before I went to New York and when I came back from New York. It's so warm now. It's like March the 4th and it's really warm outside. Number 2 is embrace the opportunities you have whilst you are there. I got the chance to go and hear the likes of Kurt Rosenwinkel in the Village Vanguard. I went to hear Greg Tardy, who's now become a personal friend and a dear brother, and I absolutely love the connection I've made there with Greg. Now, I actually heard Greg first on a CD in my local music shop back in Fleetwood 5-6 years beforehand. Saw him advertised on the listings at Tower Records. Back then didn't have as much on the internet. I went to hear him play at Smalls, and I'm so glad I did. Whilst I was there at Smalls, I've told the story before, but rather embarrassingly, let me rest the camera over here. So before I went to Smalls that night, I'd been out on Williamsburg Bridge doing a bit of Sonny style practicing on the bridge, and you can see from, oh, my fingers aren't working. There we go, this picture. Hopefully I'm not all blown out right now. What I was up to, and you can hear more about it in this vlog up here. But I returned back, having had those wonderful photographs taken, and I've got my saxophone on me. I've been at a class at Juilliard that afternoon. I treated myself to a Juilliard hoodie. Guy wanders over to the bar and says, oh, hi man, and starts talking away to me. And the whole time I'm there, I'm thinking, I know this guy. Who is it? And I couldn't place it. And we had a beer together and we're chatting away, and then he said to me how, he'd been born in New York but then moved over to California, and looked to me like I probably should have known that. He gets up and plays. Greg introduces him and says, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my really dear friend, Ravi Coltrane. I'd had a 40-minute chat with Ravi and not worked out it was him. Going back to embracing opportunities, it's something I say to my students that I lecture in London. You don't know how long you're going to have the opportunity to be in one of these major cities, and there are gigs and concerts that you should go and listen to happening almost every night. And that's certainly something I tried to do when I was a student, when I moved to London from New York, was get out there and get listening, get playing. However, so often, and sadly to my detriment, at the time I was too interested in trying to play what I wanted to play. Instead of, when you're in your 20s, you need to listen. You need to absorb what's going on. All the best artists that are playing their own music in their 20s are also massively geeky on other people's music, and they know other people's music. And I didn't know enough of other people's music, and it's taken me a while to build up that. Hopefully you can hear Charlie practicing. Grade 5 trumpet exam on Friday. When you're younger, you have the time to practice. As you get older, as your career develops in music, find yourself doing things like checking microphones are on. But it's true, things get in the way, chores get in the way, things that have to be done. And practice seems to slip further and further down the list of things that you get the time to do. I've really hated in the last 18 months the lack of practice I've been able to do, because work has just been so busy, lecturing at the university, carrying on with other things, being a single parent, those kind of things. It's changing soon. Today I'm prioritising my health more than I'm prioritising my practice, and that is actually really, really important. Something I didn't do 20 years ago. You can see it from the photos there and probably now, but health is really important. So I did 15 miles on the bike this morning, did that nice long walk that you saw. Sadly, I've had an ankle injury, so my ankle was in a boot up until last week. So trying to get back on the fitness train with an injury, and I'm telling you now, and I'm not that old, I mean, I'm nearly 43. When you get an injury particularly from sport in your 40s, it takes forever to heal. So anyway, enough complaining about that. I also wanted to say, don't get competitive with people. Music is not a competitive business. Yes, it's difficult, you're trying to get gigs and things like that, but especially the big mistake I made was, to be honest, that guy on the tube, on the subway I should say, crushed me a little bit. It did, a little bit of me died. I was like, wow. You know, I'm a long way off where these guys are, and these guys are busking on the subway, and they're really, really good. And, you know, got the chance to play some jam sessions, you know, did okay, held my own, but gosh, it set a fire up my ass, as Branford said about it. And actually, there's two ways you can go. You can be crushed by it and not want to do it, or you can go back and up the practice, which is what I did. And have done at times. I probably need to go back and get my ass whipped again in a jam session. But actually, I'm not there anymore. I'm older now, I'm wiser, and actually, I'm more realistic about what I want to achieve with my music. And I'm grateful, amazingly grateful and thankful for the opportunities I've had and the wisdom I can impart here, ex-sax coach at Cambridge Saxophone through my music teaching and lecturing. I'm in a very lucky position to do that, and I don't take that lightly, and New York was a kind of founding part of setting me on that path and moving me on that path, moving me forward on that path, which was really, really important. And so look for those opportunities like I had in March 2005. I can look back at that, and it's a real seminal tick box moment. And actually what I really want to do today, I know this vlog isn't going to get the views that the next few vlogs are going to get, but what were your seminal moments in your life, and what happened with them? If by all means, please make a video about them, link them below, or just tell us in the comments below. What were those months in your life that you can look back on if you're older than me, and I know a few of you are who watch this. What were those months? What happened? I want to hear your stories. What were your March 2005s in your life that basically your life could have gone one way, and because you took that option, it went off in that direction?
I wander through the streets in the fog of the evening. What will I find inside this peaceful place, a quiet grace? Learning, growing, feeling new in these hallowed halls where dreams arise under the sky so